finger? Hell yeah.
Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Yo, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Market Morning Report here on Piper Academy. Guys, we're looking at the fear and greed right now. Bitcoin still sitting in fear, even though we got a little pump yesterday. We're going to be taking a look at those levels and where they are sitting at right now. Currently, Bitcoin coming in at about a little bit over 60,000, just under 61K, and Ethereum sitting at $2,600 plus. Cardano, is it set to take its position back in the top 10? We're going to be looking at that and a lot more today with a very special guest in the house, Trade Intuition. Let's get it, guys. Classes in session. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to right here, the morning show, the morning market report. All these cameras, more cameras than viewers here at the Piper Academy, guys. What's up? And shout out to Alex O Crypto, bro. I said it last night in the chat, but I said it on X. But I got to tell you, right here on the show, congratulations to you, baby otter in the Alex O Crypto fam. And man, it is awesome and it's a blessing. And I'm very happy for you and Amy. So shout out to you, man. If you guys do not know who Trade Intuition is, you about to learn today. You about to find out. Joe is a longtime friend of the show here, longtime community member, and also one of the best traders I know around. So we're going to talk to him this morning, and he is here as a guest today in the house with OC guy. OC, first, how are you doing?
Much better. I'm doing fantastic today. I just had some of my favorite breakfast, which is dragon fruit, pitaya if you, in Spanish. I just love it. It's just a great morning whenever I have it, and I had 2 of them today. So pretty pumped.
Awesome.
Pretty excited for the market also.
Oh yeah, let's go. Joe, welcome to the Piper Academy. You've been here before a couple times. This is like your 3rd return visit here. How are you doing? How are things going for you? And what about that move yesterday on Bitcoin? What are your thoughts, man? What do you got?
Yeah, things are going good. Bitcoin, a lot of people were expecting it, the move that we had. And of course, with me, I was doing some leverage. So a little bit more riskier trades, higher leverage, less money, but going pretty much, that's what I've been doing like the past 3-4 days. Just in and out, in and out, in and out. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. Been good.
Awesome. Well, Crypto Candy's in the chat right now and said, Trade Intuition is my mentor. Awesome trading skills. Keep it simple and easy to learn how to trade. Yes, that is very true. You do keep it simple. You have been very vocal about people that want to overcomplicate things with little patterns and say, flip a coin 50-50. It might go up, it might go down. And I'm going to enter this trade on a 50% chance that it goes to the upside, and then they get super excited when it does do that. So yeah, your mentors, you as a mentor, your followers appreciate your simplicity, your calmness, and your accuracy, and your transparency to go, yeah, I called that wrong, because I've seen you do that too. And right. That is a very important thing in this community is transparency. So I appreciate where you come at, how you come at your, with your content and how you provide that information to your viewers, man. I really do. So yeah. Just put that out there. Yep. All right, let's get into the news. Let's talk about the news. We've got some job data that came in this morning. Not like the 818,000 jobs yesterday, but we did have some unemployment claims that came in this morning. So we're going to be looking at that, and then also getting into what are the odds now. How are we looking at what is the odds of us seeing a rate cut in September, and what is that looking like? But shout out to Alexandra G, because I see that she just gifted a membership and it went to Jeff C. So much love to you, Alexandra G, the mod queen in the house. Appreciate you. And Jeff, welcome to the alumni. We appreciate you, man. Let's jump over here to the news, guys, and let's get into this news. Here we go. Let me readjust my screen. I was running a little behind today and did not really have time to get my stuff set up right, but I apologize. I'm still going to bring you guys a quality show today. Guys, today's news brought to you by Decrypted.tax right there. They are our trusted tax official. Ernest, give them a call. and at least just talk to him and go, hey, can you help me? This is what I got, and this is my situation. And he'll tell you straight up. He's very honest. But looking here, guys, at the Fear and Greed Index, we're still sitting in 39 fear. We're still in a fear setup. Bitcoin dominance, 53.9%. And then we're looking at the market cap at 2.234. So despite that massive little jump there in the market cap and a nice little pump yesterday on Bitcoin, we are still sitting at 39 in fear. So it's interesting to see that we're not really getting that move into neutral. We're close, but not quite there yet. Let's jump over to the crypto bubble, see how they're looking. Guys, on a daily, a lot of green going on here. You can see here on the hourly, we have flipped to a little bit of red, pulling back on that market open. Matter of fact, I need to actually get my scene over here set up to have my news, because I normally look over there and go, what is it looking like on the futures? But right now, I'm guessing that the markets may have opened a little bit red, because we're now starting to see some red on the hourly, pulling back here at the market open. Let's jump over into, no, let's go down. Let's scroll down there first. Bitcoin sitting at 60,763. You can see still up 2.8% on the daily, down on the hourly, just we just talking about. Ethereum sitting just about $2,600, up 3.1% on that daily. BNB's up 6.7. What else we got here that is moving good today? Cardano, guys, back in number 11. Look, this is what the thumbnail's talking about. Tron, number 10. Doge, number 9. Is Cardano looking to move out of 11 up to 9, which would then push Doge to 10, Tron down to number 11. Let's look and see what the market cap is on these. So market cap on on Doge is 15.4, and then Tron's not that far from being taken over, guys. Tron's sitting at $13.59 billion on this market cap. Cardano's at $13.41 billion. Would not take much for Cardano to do that. And this morning, Investing Bros even released a video. You should go over and check it out after this show, talking about Cardano ADA to $1. And how that what that looks like and how that happens. So that's what's going on there with Cardano, guys. It is up 6.3% on the daily, 10.4% for the week. Avalanche up 7%. It's absolutely been doing great. What's the other one? Oh, yeah, Chainlink, guys. Chainlink up 11.8. It is pumping like crazy. I swapped my Polkadot a while back, and I split it half into my Chainlink and half into Ondo. So as of right now, I am not upset about that move at all. So yeah, Caspa lost a position there. I'm sure Retro Mike and Alex, they'll appreciate that Caspa has moved down to number 23 instead of number 22. So shout out to those guys. Let's look here at the liquidations in the past 24 hours. We had 40,371 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $124.8 million. Largest single liquidation was on OKX. It was Ethereum. USD swap valued at even $2 million. Let's jump into this economic calendar and see what we're seeing here, guys, because this is data that we're talking about. This morning, we've had two pieces of data come out. The Chicago Fed National Activity Index. What this does is this gauges the level of positive or negative contraction and growth in the U.S. economy, okay? So coming in, negative 3.4. Now, this isn't based on it lost 3% or it gained 3%. This is based on the average, right? The average growth glide path for an economy. So this was 0.34% under the norm, under the average growth rate. So not completely a negative shrinking of the economy, but definitely a slowdown indicator of the economy. There you go. Initial jobless claims, guys, coming in to this morning. Previously, now remember, these initial jobless claims, these are weekly unemployment claims, okay? So we had 228,000 last week. They were consensus to be 230,000, and the forecast to be 240,000. Splitting the difference, coming in right there in between that consensus and forecast at 232,000, higher than the previous week, which means more people filing for unemployment, right? So, and I'm sure that next week we'll see this as a revision again. So there you go. Initial jobless claims up from last week, a little bit higher than the consensus, but not as high as forecasted. So let's see here. What else do we got there today? We've got existing home sales is going to be coming out here at the top of the hour, month over month, and then all overall. So we're going to be seeing that right now. It looks like the existing home sales is actually coming up a little bit. And I will explain why I think that this is that they're saying this in just a second. And then existing home sales itself, they think that it's going to be up. It was down minus 5.4% last month. They're now looking like it may be just under neutral or up 1.3%. Then, of course, the Jackson Hole Symposium. You've got Jerome Powell. He's actually going to be speaking tomorrow for the final saying on this, but a lot of data coming out on that too. So let's go ahead and look at the CME gap, guys. We're talking about that Jerome Powell thing, Federal Reserve. When we look at this data, we see that right now, 100% chance that there is a rate cut in September 18th, okay? Of that 100%, 71.5% of people believe it's only going to be a 25 basis point cut. That would be healthy. The markets would react well to that. They would not have a freak out. But 28.5% believe that there would be 50 basis points on the cut. And that would be nasty because it would be a reaction that makes people go, whoa, the Fed government really messed up. And now the economy really is screwed. So we want to see 25 basis points really, unless you just want to rip that Band-Aid off. If you rip that Band-Aid off and we go for 50, expect a dip. But we could rally, we could recover much quicker as an economy from it. So, especially on the investor side. I do want to jump over here. The X marks the spot, sitting here, and then we'll get back and we'll go to TriCam, and I will talk about that the housing thing and why it's that way. So, breaking the share of people who believe they will become unemployed in the next 4 months has jumped to 4.4%, the highest on record ever. This is a significant surge from the 2.8% seen in March 2024, according to the New York Fed Job Situation and Outlook. At the same time, can we get a little refresh there? Can I get that bigger? Thank you. There we go. At the same time, the share of workers who reported searching for a job in the last 4 weeks has increased to 28.4%. It's the highest since the survey began in 2014. This was up 9% from the 19.4% recorded in July 2023. Further evidence that the labor market is weakening. Is there anything else here that I needed to talk about? Let me make sure, because I don't want to cut you guys out. Oh yeah, there was, of course there was. We have the earnings report for the week. Let's get into that real fast. Finishing that up here, guys, on Thursday. Go take a snapshot of that. That's if you got any of those stocks, Peloton, Intuit, BJ's, Robinhood, Macros, American Software, Viking, TD Bank, I don't know. There's your earnings. They're coming out this afternoon. We're going to have these at the market close, and then all the ones on the left here are going to be the ones for market open. Nothing big tomorrow. Let's go ahead and jump back to guest cam. Okay, guys. So we looked at this data. We looked at the economic data, and we talked about these houses, the housing market for existing sales, and it looks like it's going to be up. My theory on this is, you got these housing rates for new homes coming in now like 4.8 according to Crypto Billy, his company, 4.875 right now. I said when people started to see mortgage rates under 5%, that's a breathable amount for people, even people with good credit. They're like, okay, I can deal with 5%. I'll do that for a little while until the rates come down, and then I'll refinance in a year, right? So I think that is what we're seeing there with those existing home numbers looking like higher projections on the overall market, is because now we're starting to see those houses hit the market too. My concern is we already have this massive overabundant amount of homes that are sitting unsold. According to an article I read last week or a couple weeks ago, it looked like it would take, at the current purchasing rate, it would take 9 to 11 months, depending on where you are in the United States, to sell out of all of the available new homes. Now we're going to be adding existing homes to that. So, when you have an abundance of stuff, just like when you have a shortage of items that cause inflation, when you have an overabundance of items, it tends to make price go down. That means that the valuation on your home probably going to start sliding. If people see that their house is going down in value and they've been thinking about moving, they're probably going to jump on to sell their home before it goes down and impact at a greater rate that spinning, revolving flow there of more trickling cells, causing the home prices to go down even quicker. A lot like we see on charts, Joe. You know, when people are selling,
Right,
they see the price go down, they start to sell on top of it, and it creates a cascading effect. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think, man?
it's pretty much the same old, same old. People who have money, they're looking forward to this dip. They've been waiting for this dip for many years now, so they're looking for it. The people who don't have money, who want to buy a house, well, that's when you get into, of course, anybody who's offering money for houses. We won't go there due to monetization, but yeah, it's one thing to lower the prices, but it's another thing to see the reasoning behind it. Same thing with, like, as far as the lumber and everything else. It's okay. Let me back up. I find it very crazy how the numbers can be given to us one day and then adjusted the next. So are these numbers also going to be adjusted? And if so, when? So
Of course.
I don't
Well,
like
you won't know.
all these
You won't know
numbers.
when. They won't do a big announcement like they do with all this data when it first comes out. It's
Right.
going to be done quietly. Shh, very quietly. They're going to come in and put it on the back table in the back of the classroom here at the academy. But we're going to go back there and grab that and make sure that people know it. So, but yes,
I will say one thing though. I love watching the show, of course, and I love watching your input as far as the economy and everything. But there are days where I have to take my blood pressure medicine just a little bit sooner because I hear all this stuff. It's like, man, like and these numbers that are coming out, it's like, man, is it going to be good for us? Is it going to be bad for us? With the 25%, 50%, it's like we want the 50 eventually, but we don't want it right away, just like how you said, because it's going to really hurt us. But the only reason we're hurting is because of everything that's being done to us. And like I said, sometimes I need to take my blood pressure medicine just a little bit earlier because of all the knowledge. So, yeah.
yep, yep, absolutely. And that's the problem. That's the problem, is that you're investing. This is the investor world, and it's all about market sentiment, right? And at the end of the day, you really just don't know how people are going to react. Like, I see earnings reports on stocks all the time where, like, they beat earnings and the market drops, or they didn't quite make it, but the sentiment is that next quarter will be even better because they came in low. So
Right.
let's buy it up now. Like, it's so crazy how that all plays out. But at the end of the day, if you take into account this data, look at your charts, and just know where that support and resistance is, then you can go, okay, if it goes to the upside, this is where I'm looking for. It goes to the downside, this is what I'm looking for. Let me set 2 alerts here. Call it a day. Thank you, Mr. Economic. I got my Piper Academy in. Time to go eat some breakfast, right? That's what you do in the morning. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's it. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the chat. I see some people in the chat talking about stuff. It was Buck, I believe, said, oh, Darren does things too. He's in here just lurking. Hi, Darren, we hope you're doing well too, man. You're welcome to hang out in the back of the classroom and lurk all you want. Buck said new home builders in Texas are paying a double commission to real estate agents to move the new homes. They're playing all kinds of games with sellers' concessions. That's what I was talking about. There's a lot of homes, guys, and when these existing homes come onto the market, it's just going to have an impact on availability of homes, and then market prices are going to start dropping quickly. I would not be invested in home builders at all in the next year and a half to 2 years. Not financial advice, just my personal opinion. I am not going to be investing in home building in the next 2 years. So let's go ahead and let's get into some TA on Bitcoin. Let's talk about that. And then, Joe, I want you to show me what you're seeing on there. And then I got some questions about, what does Joe do? I know Joe trades, but how does Joe approach investing in general? So I don't think we've ever actually talked about that here on the show. So I would love to know about that. And then we'll get into some altcoins here in a bit and look at that. So looking at Bitcoin, guys, there we go. Got it. We're good. We're good. Guys, yesterday we were talking about this range up here, and I said, look, here on the 4-hour, we do have the dynamic reactor. We do have this quantum reactor. We're coming in really close to this T-box here, 62,000. Watch for that area of rejection. You got all these moving averages in here from Chart Primes indicators. I said, if you look at the daily, though, Guys, I'm going to go ahead and say 62. And I was wrong. I apologize. I was absolutely wrong yesterday on my $62,000 call. It actually was $61,850. I was off by $151. So my apologies, but it was the daily dynamic reactor that it got its rejection on there. But I am still watching for this, because if you come over here, and I saw yesterday, Crypto Face, he had an amazing trade, pulled in like $58,000 on his trade. So he pulled out of it. And he said, "Oh, I got out of it just in time." And what he was talking about was this rejection right here before it started coming back down. And I said, actually, bro, I think you could have kept that trade. It was actually right here. This one. This is where he got out of the trade. I said, I think you could have kept that trade, because I watched it come down here and then start to pull back up to the 50% line of that candle. So it did a 50% retracement on the 4-hour candle, bouncing off of that dynamic reactor. I said, I think you could have held that and got some more. I said, maybe make another entry. Well, right now, this is what we're doing. We're rejecting off of this quantum reactor and squeezing in between the dynamic reactor on the 4-hour. Now is where I would be going, okay, yes, it was a fail, Buck. Total fail on my part. I'm off by $150. This is where I would be watching for downside move. And there's a couple of things going on here that make me think that that is the case. We do have a dropping here. That we're starting to get a drop here on the oscillator ribbon. So there is a possibility that this is going to come down here and bounce right here. We already got a wick on it, but over the 4-hour period here, watch for this bounce before it comes up. I do think ultimately, though, anywhere in this area right here at 60,250 is a good entry into a long. And here's why. Because I do think that the true 7 here is going to come up for one more ping onto the 70% line, and that true 7 is going to give us this nice bold green. See that nice bright green there? I think we're going to get that, and that's going to be the indicator that I look for the reversal. Also, when we look here, if I come over, let's get this drop down here, and let's look and see how the money flow is looking. Go to money mode on this oscillator. Look at the money mode, guys. This money mode is telling us right now that we are looking green, and it is not looking like it's pulling back. This is the money flow index, just like you see on some of the other great indicators out there. This MFI is showing us that we have money flow still coming into the upside. Okay. On top of that, we've also got the volume matrix is sitting down here with an upside movement. See here how it went green and went red. That was a pullback, and it's still green. There's no pullback yet. We're not getting any fading of that color there. This tells me that this has still got more upside also. Lastly, the last thing that I'm looking at here on this is that we have not gone up, because there's nothing really to come back and test. This is the moving averages here and what we needed to test. We're doing that. There's really nothing above or below for us to come back and test, except for the 0.66 here in the golden pocket, which we've already done here. So there's no reason for it to go back there. As long as there's nothing that comes out today from the Jackson Hole Symposium, I do believe we see an upside movement today, and that would be up to about that 63,000. While I talk to Joe and let Joe show what he's seeing on his charts, I will go take a look at the heat map, but I'm pretty sure the heat map's going to tell us there's a nice liquidity pickup there at about $63,000. Joe, what do you got on your chart, and what are you seeing?
Awesome. So here, this is kind of more of a macro view of it. This is on the 4-hour time frame, though, so it's not too macro, not on the daily or nothing like that. But it's been respecting this zone. Of course, you know, we do have our range high, range low, mid range, so it's staying here. It's going to stay in here until, and for me personally, I'm bearish. I'm bearish on Bitcoin until it gives me a higher high. We got the high, lower high, lower high. So I do expect it to come up to maybe around 66. I'm not going to say that last number, but 66.4-ish before it comes down again. But once it breaks the 69 level, then I'm going to start going bullish on this. Now, just to kind of go to more zoomed in, wrong one. Let's go over here. Now, on the 1-hour time frame, let's get out of this. On the 1-hour time frame, we do have this zone. Let's go 4-hour. Take this off. So this is kind of like a liquidity zone, resistance zone, whatever you want to call it. It's just an area where I think it might come down based off of its previous price action. So it's been respecting this zone pretty well. Now let's go to the 1 hour so we can kind of zoom in. And when the price action was here, before it did the double top, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to probably come up here to this area. And sure enough, it didn't. It came, sideways, and eventually did come up. Let me get rid of this. This is after the fact. It came up into this zone, and then it came down here again. And same thing is like, man, it needs to break above 63.2, at least, in order to make a higher high on this one before it goes up and does the 69 one. But until it does that, for me personally, I mean, I just see this as just to where it's just, high, lower high, kind of equal, but I'm still going with this route. And one thing I love about this show is that everybody can have different opinions. And so for me, I'm thinking it's going to do this number and then continue doing something like this. That's my thoughts.
Awesome. Yeah. And I'm looking at some stuff here. I am looking at that $63,000 range that I was talking about. That is the rejection point. I don't think we're taking off yet. I've actually said all of August and September, I expect us to range. But if you're looking for, if you're looking for some trade setups, little longs and shorts pick up along the way here and play this range to your advantage, then you absolutely should be looking at these levels. And 63K was what I'm seeing. Let's also jump over here. You'll see on the heat map, this little yellow that's coming in right there above that, that is actually coming to, that's about 62 to $63,000. And in total, between just these levels, let's see here, that is 130 million. There's another 433, so that's 563 million. There's another 380, so that's almost $1 billion in liquidity sitting right here in this range of between 62 to 62.3, which is interesting. You said that amount. That's where that liquidity is at. I do think that we're going to see that pop up there to that level to grab that liquidity. Another big reason that I think that, guys, is look at the markets today. The S&P is up. The NASDAQ is up. The Dow is up. And if we look over here at the stock heat map, you can see NVIDIA is up 1.44%. Tech moving pretty good. Microsoft, even though they're talking about dropping it out of the global top 10, is at 0.5%. And then the Google is at 0.71%, Meta up 1.5%. Walmart, guys, the one I've been talking about over and over and over, that it's a really good move right now. It's recessionary proof. Walmart up 1.09%. So we are seeing market moves to the upside today. That's why I do believe that we are going to see an upside move on Bitcoin. But I'm looking at 62 to 62.3, exactly where you said. Heat map is verifying that. That's what chart prime indicators are verifying. And now you've heard it straight out of Trade Intuition's mouth, a little bit of insight there with his crystal ball, 62.3. OC, you got anything different that you're seeing on the Bitcoin or anything that you want to specifically point out? You're muted. You want, is there anything that you want to talk about with your microphone on?
Nothing really different. Just follow up on the trade that I have open, and just to keep the guys updated, right? So basically, I jumped back in here. Remember, I was expecting for a bounce at this point. Yesterday on the chart primes class, we also took another trade in case you guys didn't were entering. So basically, it's also playing out very nicely. At this point, guys, we are heading up in here, right? We're kind of like making a little bit of a flag in here. If we go to lower time frames, like 15 minutes, I think you will be seeing this flag very, very nicely. Something that is kind of like worrying me a little bit and is making me kind of like look at the charts, it is a divergence here, right? Guys, not because we have a divergence means that we're going to be crashing right away. Like, for example, look at this divergence, right? Remember, divergence means that the price is going up while the volume, in this case, the momentum, is going down. So one is diverging from the other, and eventually the market is going to seek for that compensation, right? So just so you know, having a divergence means that the price overall keep pushing forward as we have a lower high on your oscillator, in this case momentum, right? So as you can see right here at the second divergence, when we have a triple plus one, right, that's when we had the big dump. At this point, I think that something like this could be happening. Maybe we could be having that little goose head and going farther down in here like that. So making another low in here, basically making a double divergence or two divergences, going into the 62,800 and then flipping back down. So that's what I already have. I'm going to keep my trade open. I already have taken 50% out and move my stop to entry. If you are in yesterday's trade, I would be suggesting, not financial advice, just moving up your stop to entry and taking maybe a little bit of percentage out at this point, right? I know it's a little bit too small of a trade, so that's why I could be friendly suggesting just taking out maybe 10 and 20% out just to pay yourself, just to cover for the feels and cover for your time spent on the charts, right? Other than that, try to make sure that you are making the most out of this upcoming movement. And also, as I always say, prepare for your worst case scenario. Other than that, everything doing great. And I was also looking at, I'm not going to be showing it right at this point, but SMC, Supermicro, and Disney, because all of the Disney thing that is happening around yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah. Awesome. Well, let's do a quick mid roll. We'll come back and reset, and then we're going to talk to Joe about some of his what altcoins he's really watching right now, and get a little bit of insight onto how he invests, not just how he trades.
Oh, you're muted.
That was muted. We'll be right back, guys. Stick around right after this. Be back in 1 minute. Hey, guys, you know I love using Chart Prime, but they have something that is new. It's fresh, it's hot, and you guys have got to check this out.
Get full access to every single one of our custom-made influencer indicators. Receive ongoing exclusive Plus member indicators, access Plus member-only classes, and much, much more with the Chart Prime Plus package. Let's take a sneak peek at some of the features offered exclusively to Plus members.
Here's an example of our new oscillator on Tesla stock. As you can see, there is a strong downtrend. However, we see the money flow and volume wave trending up, creating a divergence with the price, and you can also see the volume gradient is becoming more predominantly green while trending up and setting higher highs. Not only that, we also see the ranking line maxed out at -70, simultaneously with oversold signals appearing and a reversal triangle to top it off. Now, if I play this out, you can clearly see where the turning point was in this market trend.
There's a whole lot of powerful stuff coming out on Chart Prime with Chart Prime Plus. Guys, if you're already a member, go log in today and check it out. Get upgraded to the new powerful Plus oscillator and all of the features that come with it. Plus, if you're not a Chart Prime member, check out the link below. Get 45% off, guys. It is the biggest discount in the market for the most powerful tools on the market. And welcome back, guys. Hey, by the way, we do that mid-roll there because we are not doing ads anymore on the morning show. So you guys have not been getting kicked with all those ads coming through the whole time. So we do a mid-roll, and we're going to be doing mid-rolls here for In-N-Out Crypto, Legendary Aviation Coffee, Blofin, Decrypted.tax. Just a quick 30-second to 1 minute ad right in the middle of the show. No ad time beyond that from for you guys to deal with on the live stream. So there you go. Joe, let's ask you some questions, man. So I know that you trade and you do it really, really well. But
I do lose, though. I do lose, but yes, I trade good. Well,
you do. Nobody's perfect. Like nothing. No, if you could call 100% trades, I would stop this show today and take like $500,000 and just follow you all day long. Okay. Right. Bottom line. But no, I think that you're a fantastic trader in the space, and I think you're a very honest trader. You have pretty good, roll the mid roll. There you go, French toaster. You have pretty good look at and expertise and skill set, right? But do you take this money and just roll it into other trades, or do you invest this money? What does investor Joe look like? I know what trader Joe looks like.
Yeah. So last season, it was all about trading, just compounding trading. This season, I'm investing. Now, granted, when I started investing was, I think, like in March when everything was high. And it's like, okay, I like these projects. I like what they're doing. I got some gaming, some AI, some just coins that I like. And so I'm investing. And of course, I'm letting everybody know we never know when the price is going to go up or come down. It's always, you always have that where it's like, man, I'm going to wait because it's supposed to go lower, 20%, 30%. But then if that never happens, well, now you're buying it at 120% gains or 100. So you're at a loss already. But then if you do buy it and it does go down, if you have the investor mindset, you're like, okay, that's fine. Like I want it to go down so I can buy more because I have this money coming in, whether it's from a paycheck or from whatever. You can constantly be putting money in there, $20, $50, $100, whatever you have. And that's your DCAing as opposed to just holding it and waiting for somebody to tell you, oh, now's a good time to buy, but you waited all that time. So this season, I have invested. Now, granted, oh my gosh, all the ones that I've done, down 50, 70, 80%. And I tell everybody, I said, don't worry about it. Now, if I needed that money to trade, man, I'd be worried. I would be panic selling everything.
Absolutely.
But since the mindset is different, the mindset is, you know what? If it goes down, great. Like, and I've done that too. Some of them are like 80% down. I'll throw $100 in there, $50 in there, whatever, just to dollar cost average. But if you don't need that for a trade, treat it like a savings account, put it in there, wait 12 months, 16 months, whatever it is. And then instead of taking a 50% or 80% loss when you do cash out, because it's unrealized, it's not realized until you actually sell. Same thing with profits. So instead of taking an 80% loss now, I can wait 12 months, 16 months, and then take a 300% gain, if not longer. So that's my thought process when it comes to investing. Yeah, and before I didn't have that thought process. It was all about trading. Now it's like, because you never hear a millionaire or a multimillionaire say, oh yeah, I got into a trade and I'm out a month later or 2 weeks later at 50% gains. They hold it for years.
Yeah, absolutely. So they held it for years, or it's a matter of they trade, take their profit, and their profit is literally just to put into long-term investment. So yeah, and I figured that's what you did. We never asked you that question, and I wanted people to know a little, get a little peek behind the curtain of how trade intuition, how Joe the man actually invests, not just how he trades. So no, I appreciate it. Shout out to 30 there in the house. He's in the chat right now. 30 is one of the customer support over there at Chart Prime. So it's he's dropping in to say hey to us. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and look at some altcoins, man. Let's get into some altcoins and let's see what we got going on there because I do see a little bit of thing here. I'm going to start off with some Ethereum. And guys, let us know in the chat what you would like to see for some TA. I know that if you guys got stock requests, we'll look at some of that stuff. And we might run a little bit late today. It's okay, though. Let us know what you want to see in the for some TA in the chat there, and we will take a look at that. All right, looking here at Ethereum, guys, I am watching very closely. And you can see this level right here, this 382 on my fib. Is coming in and playing beautifully as resistance. I think that we are going to try to get another run up here, but I think when we finally hit right here, this is the quantum reactor and the dynamic reactor overlapping here. This is going to be some major resistance to get through. So if we do get up there, watch for that. That's going to be like $2,700, guys. That $2,700 range is going to be a brutal rejection, in my opinion. I don't think that we're going to get through that on the first run at all. But it does look like right now we are starting to get some signs of downside movement. Let's look here. True 7 giving us a nice downward move here on that True 7. You can see it was green, it was going up, and now it's rejected on the 0 line, coming to the downside. We're also starting to see some this red money flow. This is the negative volume here, not money flow, volume coming out also. And then it looks like I want to see the money mode because it looks like money might be red also. Come here, money mode. Let's see what you look like here. Let's get rid of that line. There we go. Yeah, it's red. Money flow is still red here also, guys. So a lot of selling pressure still going on Ethereum. So I'm watching for it right now. It looks like we're getting the oscillator ribbon pointing down. Like I said, the True 7 pointing down. The money flow is red. The volume matrix is red. This looks like it's going to be dropping here. And I'm going to be watching for, let's go see what I can get here for some levels. We do have a level right here, guys. This is coming in a chart pattern that's already being picked up. Hey, look, I didn't have to draw these, Joe. They Chart Prime drew them for me. We do have a descending wedge here going on. I'm going to be watching for that. Once that breaks through here, guys, if it breaks through here or here, it will give us a green dot indication and tell us it's measured smart target through the AI algorithm. So I'm going to be watching close for that. When that happens, then I'll get into a short or I'll get into a long on the retest there, OC retest. But I am looking at Ethereum. I think that if it does go to the upside, guys, off of any of this bullish data, $2,700 is the range I'm going to be watching for a harsh rejection. I'll enter into a hefty short there. But if we do not go up before we come down, I'm watching for us to break the wedge here. That line coming in about $25.25, so $2,525. And if we do not make it through that, or if we do fall through that, then we'll get the indication there of that break of that pattern, and then that I'll go off of where Chart Prime tells me it's going. So let's go ahead and jump over to the trio screen. Let's see here. What do we got for? Looks like Render is in here. Are you getting all this stuff down for us, OC, in the list? I see Render. What else? I don't know. Near, looks like Near's in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and push it over to Trade Intuition, because I know that you've got some altcoins that are your favorites to trade. So let's see what you got, bro.
Well, I'm not sure if y'all picked this one already for Near, but I do have Near on the thing. I'm sharing my chart, right?
Yep, it's up. And Near was one of the requested ones. So that's perfect.
Okay. So for Near, we are right underneath resistance, right at 4.304. I would recommend setting an alert at 4.459 and waiting. So my big thing is I like to wait. Patience is extremely important. And what I need to do is I need to wait 4 hours for the candle to close above this level. If the candle closes slightly underneath it, I don't enter, because it could do this. And, now you're just waiting again. So my big thing is I don't like waiting for my profits. I don't like waiting for coins. I want to get in and then hopefully out 3 to 5 days, since I'm on the 4-hour time frame. And then, of course, for me to hit my targets. Now, I will set a target, though. So if we did enter here, let's see. If we did enter here, our first target could be... And one thing I always do is I look to see how much I can lose, too. To me, that's very important. So, man, this one, 17's too much for me. So I'm going to go for this next level. And whenever I'm doing this, whenever anybody's doing any kind of charting, this is for the group, definitely see where our crosshairs are at. Try to see what our thought process is. But whenever I'm doing my targets or stop loss, I'm always looking at underneath certain candle body closes and also wicks. So if you come over here, it's under these candle bodies, because throughout the entire chart is nothing but support resistance. So if you ever wondered, like, why are you picking an area besides another area? And it's just that wherever we have more support resistance levels, candle body closes, candle wicks, and I'm always doing it underneath my major support resistance levels. So once this setup is ready, and it's not right now, not financial advice, I would strongly recommend, having your stop loss around 10%, and then your target number one would be roughly around 17%, and then your target number two would be roughly around 35%. And this one I've already kind of zoomed out already, kind of seen what the pattern was. We did have a double top. I don't do patterns, but I see them. But we have this really nice range that it's been respecting, and it's currently in this range. So once again, it has to break above that level in order for us to do some work. Oh yeah, and then there's also indicators down here. But that's my plan. So.
Awesome. I'm going to be jumping out over here. I want to take a look at ADA, because we got this article, and I want to talk about that because it was the thumbnail today. And then we're going to jump over. I think OC is going to take Render. So yeah, let me get ADA up here real fast, and then let's get over to this article. There we go. Perfect. I like it. Let's do that. Jumping over here to the article, guys, and taking a look at what we're seeing here on this article from Cardano. Cardano, ADA might flip Tron and Doge if this happens. What are they talking about here? Let's get down and see. It says the digital asset space becoming more interesting and to watch as the battle to stay among the top 10 cryptocurrencies in the industry becomes increasingly competitive. Cardano, previously the 10th largest coin, edged out by Tron following the success of its meme coin launch, Sun Pump, which boosted investors' interest in the asset. Cardano's battle for that supremacy is continuing. However, as earlier reported by You Today, Cardano momentarily reclaimed 10th place in the past 24 hours. This followed a 5% surge by ADA, which helped it outshine Tron in market capitalization. Notably, Tron stunned the market in the past week with its performance and climbed to 10th place. Market observers still believe if the price of ADA continues to grow steadily, it will only take a little while before it flips Tron, whose market cap has dipped by 5.04% following a drop in price. So let's jump over here. Actually, let's talk about the Chain hard fork first, because ADA has been talking about this left and right. This is the Chain hard fork. It's proven a potential game changer. Given the data, the difference in market cap between the current holders in the 10th and the 11th place is about $252 million. Not a drop in a bucket, but not a huge amount when you talk about market caps, right? So looking at this, thus, understandably, a continued price increase for ADA could see it jump back into that top 10 easily. Doge registered about 1.72 price increase on percentage there, and trades at about 10.5 cents with the market cap of $15.4 billion to retain its 9th place. For Cardano to cause an upset in Doge, analyst says its price must continue on its present bullish path of riding on the back of that Chain hard fork. So that ADA data there is giving a lot of move. Plus, I got to say, and Mark Dutch just nailed it right there. He said, too bad Justin Sun is involved. That is the problem with Tron. Tron has moved, but Justin Sun does not have the greatest reputation in this industry. So I can easily see it moving Tron. The question will be, is the ADA community more bullish on their project than the Doge community on the Dogecoin? And Doge has got a powerful, powerful community. So let's go ahead and jump over and check out this chart and see how the chart is looking here. Let me get that up. That was brought to you by Trade Intuition, by the way. Much love, man. Let's get in here and take a look and see how this is looking. We did get this push up here, and I was talking about that we were hitting. Matter of fact, look, this, I'm actually taking off brush marks from earlier, from previously. I said we very likely, and there's one right there behind this candle. Let me move these. Let me move ADA behind the brush marks. There we go. And then you should be able to see it. There we go. I said we could be heading up, getting a push up above, bouncing off of this, coming back, and then up. You see that arrow right there? That's exactly what this did on the 4-hour. It played off of those two ranges there. There's two moving averages brought to you by Chart Prime. And it said up to the quantum reactor, came back down, did a nice retest here on the getting a bounce off of the dynamic reactor. And now we are riding above the quantum reactor and the 786. We have broken and retested the platinum pocket, guys. This is a very, very bullish setup here for Cardano to have a continuation to the upside. And something that I want to point out. We have a pump that has printed here. Market pump is what this is, has printed here on the Market Oracle Plus. Guys, here's where we had a down sell. Yes, it came up for a retest, but then went down. Here's where we had an upsell. You can see it went up to the golden pocket. This one here was on resistance. So sometimes these don't always play out. This one gave a nice move to the downside. But for the most part, about 60 to 70% of the time, when these print and they're above resistance, sitting on support right now, we typically do get those moves. I'm watching this close, though. I will point out, we did have the True 7 peg. It has pegged and came back down a little bit here. And we do have overbought signals here while the oscillator's coming down. That being said, that was the pullback here to the retest. This could easily start coming up now again because money flow is still good. That's that right there. Right there's money flow. That's that green wave that's coming up. And then also the volume matrix is still looking like green volume coming in. So I think that we do get a bounce right here at this level at the 0.363, 36.3 cents here on ADA. And I'd be watching for at least it to come up to the golden pocket here at 43.5 cents. So there's your Cardano. That move, guys, could easily have it move into the 9th place as long as we have a continuation of Tron losing its valuation. So that valuation of Tron coming down as ADA is getting that bounce off of those 2 critical support ranges could be what it takes to at least move it into the 10th. And then it's just a matter of head-to-head with Doge versus Cardano ADA for that 9th spot. So Joe, thoughts on that? Do you see anything? Because that was the headline today. So I'm not going to ask you.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I just wish Cardano moved faster. That's the only wish. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. All right, let's get into some other altcoins here. But shout out to Crypto in the chat, guys, holding it down on the back end of this thing all the time, putting out some amazing shorts. But he just alerted me. We have 6,000 subs incoming right now. What are we at exactly right now? Crux, let me know in the chat, and we'll come back and talk about that. But Joe, actually, you just did near. I did ADA. OC, you got render. Are you ready, man? Let's get into it.
Absolutely. Very, very ready. So something that I wanted to point out before we get into the render thing, it is the SMC, so super microcomputers. I believe that the charts kind of like look like the same, with SMC being a little bit more reactive. So remember the render, it is kind of like it is a computer's thing, right? But it is directly related to the microchips. So that's what I'm pulling up those two side to side, right? So just so you know, we might be having a similar movement if we see that. Also, if Bitcoin stays sound and clean and does not move so bullish or so bearish, we could be having a breakout on render. In fact, if I zoom in already, we can see that it is almost there. We're piercing through the dynamic reactor. Something to note, it is that we are almost there with a flip of the ribbon. So that means that we could be having a little bit of a flip here before we continue up. Let me bring up the classical indicator right here, so you can start seeing this could be forming as a goose head. Something that I still like from the prime oscillator or regular, it is that at goose head, it is much more appreciated on this one that on the Pro Plus. Nonetheless, the Plus is also giving me the money flow that I have right here in the True 7. Look at this, something very interesting on the True 7. It is that we are clipping, right? So what does that mean when we're clipping? Basically, we're flattening out there. We are kind of like in an undecisive zone, but the money flow is still pushing up, and look at the volume. It's also trying to push up. So this is a very careful zone, right? We need to be very, very careful, especially because if I start throwing on there my indicators, you see that we have some bearish confluence building up, right? So as you can see, I'm just drawing up things there for the confluence to play it out. And as you can see, it is pretty much right on spot, right? So let's just see the micro movements based on that confluence. So let me just paint all over the place. Remember, I'm just applying the strategy. I don't know what this is, and I don't care. I'm just gonna draw on top of it. Easy peasy. I don't think that there's nothing easier than that, right? And let's just see the 3 biggest confluence zone. I have 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's just get rid of that spaghetti. So what I'm seeing here, based on the money flow and the volume, I see that we could start maybe piercing, going back down, back for support, and then pushing upwards. So as you can see, we are right on the resistance zone, but the money flow is pushing up. We're still above the 0 line. Yes, we still have some overbought here, but we don't have the reversal yet, right? So that gives me a little bit of hopium for that push up to the upside. And as long as we are above the dynamic reactor and we still have market pumps, I believe that we can go over to the retest, breakout retest, and off we go. There's 2 ways that you could maybe be long in this. It is basically, I wouldn't say it right now because that will be very, very irresponsible, because we could be longing the resistance. But if I scroll these a little bit to my right, there you go. You can see that I will be seeking between the point that we are right now or just a little bit lower to compensate for the divergence of the dynamic reactor here. So that's what I'll be looking forward. Or if in the worst case scenario, and let's just see this, if I get stopped out, well, then going revisit the 4.41 area. So this is going to be, if I get stopped out here, this is going to be my possible next entry as long as I'm above the zero line, which at this point I'm still are. So that's what I got on render.
Awesome. Warning, guys. I am sitting here watching. I'm not sure what data is coming out right now. I'm going to look around here, but it looks like the Dow has gone negative right now. And then also the S&P and the NASDAQ are almost back flat, and we're seeing a big move right now on treasury bonds. The rate is actually dropping, which means people are grabbing those up right now. I'm not sure what's going on. We're going to take a look. Stick around, but I'm going to try to figure it out. But be careful. I could see a market pullback coming here real quick. So, Joe, let's go ahead and see what you got. Let's kick it over to you, and then I'll take a look and see what I can find on the back end, see why we're getting this pullback all of a sudden.
What's the next coin? I didn't see it on the thing.
We got all the coins. It was Render and Near and Ethereum. We had some requests for some stocks, but I'll let you pick whatever you want to go with, man.
I don't see any of them. Which one?
No, whatever
me-
whatever you're you're watching, like your favorite coin, you can go ahead and pull that up.
Oh, I don't watch stocks.
No, coin, token, crypto.
Oh, okay, I'll do Jupiter.
That sounds good. Let's do Jupiter. Yeah, we didn't get a lot of crypto requests. We still got some stocks, but the crypto requests, we hit them all. So yeah, go ahead and jump to that.
Let me get one of these. Oh no. Let's do.
I do have aluminum pulled up in the meantime. If you need a little bit more time, there, Joe.
We can do BNB. So
right,
BNB right now is kind of moving. We do have our resistance zone right here between 653 and 697. Matter of fact, I just entered this one as a long, just because it broke this 4-hour resistance. This is my only long. I have 2 shorts open at the moment, but since it broke this level of resistance, I went ahead and entered, and right now it's doing fairly well. Let's see here, but it kind of gave me shooken up a little bit when you start talking about the stocks are going down. It's like, oh, let me look at my BNB, but that's my only long one. But in reference to like an actual setup or a trade, if you're just doing regular trade, no leverage, for me personally, I would wait till it gets out of this range. I would set my alert probably right around here, 617. And then, of course, you can do your entry. Now, of course, I do like doing leverage. Trading wars, man, that got me addicted, guys. I'm just telling you right now, that trading wars got me addicted. I'm doing more leverage than, and I would trade leverage every once in a while, just for fun. Now, man, I'm trading. Let's see here. This one, I don't want to do it so low. So what I would do, no, I'd have to do it here. I don't like doing a 1-to-1, risk to reward. So you know what? I will take like a 5% loss, because you don't know if it's going to stay in here for a long period of time or come back down. So I'll take a 5% loss, and then so whenever you don't have more levels up higher, and so right now I'm on MEX C, so of course on another exchange it'd be greater. You can always go to your fib retracement, and then of course just make sure that you're on the right one. This one's kind of messy, sorry guys. Let's do targets, and then of course you can use this for your targets, and this is your settings. Now of course different people use different ones, but that's pretty much that. And then you can just put it underneath your level. I never go on the level, I always go underneath it, just because I want to be in front of the line as opposed to in the line. So that's my thought process on that. That was kind of messy, so thank you guys.
Awesome. We appreciate you, man. You covered me here while I was looking for this info, at least. So here's what I've got, guys. Looks like the housing numbers came out this morning, and they were pretty high. Existing home sales, there's a lot of them, a lot more than what there has been previously. Let me go ahead and pull that up here, and we'll show that. And then, yeah, you can see existing home sales came in at 3.95, actually beat the consensus and the forecast. And then existing home sales here month over month hit 1.3, which was almost consensus. Forecast was that it would be down 0.5% as opposed to its negative 5.1% that it was previously. Actually came in at the consensus, so looking pretty good. So I think is what we're seeing right now at the pullback in the markets, and you actually can see that here on the actual stock heat map and stuff. Jump over there and show that. You'll see right there, starting to get flat, going in gray, and a lot of red now coming in. Even Walmart, like 50% of its gains are gone for today already. It was up like 1.5, whatever. It's now down now only up 0.76. So I think what's going on is a lot of people are prepping for tomorrow for Jerome Powell's speech that he's going to be having at Jackson Hole. So people this morning got their little morning rally, pulled their cash. Now they're just starting to pull back and hold their breath and wait to see what he has to say tomorrow. And then they're going to rush back in with that low, bounce it again. The real composite man, if you will, right there going on with that, with the markets just waiting for Jerome Powell's statement. So we are at the bottom of the hour. I'm going to do Clean Spark real fast because we had a request for that. But is there anything else that we have to hit on chart-wise, OC?
I think that aluminum would be a good one. It was requested by username, and he has a point that I would like to visit.
Okay, let me go do a quick look at Clean Spark. We'll come back and knock out aluminum, and then we'll walk this thing out of here with Joe. So, Joe will shut down the lights on the way out, okay? Let's get over here, look at what I'm seeing here on Clean Spark. Guys, Clean Spark down right now. It's 2.2%, 2.6% today. I'm actually feeling a little bearish right now on this, and I'll tell you why. Because these fibs, while, you know, they're... typically, my fibs are pretty tight. This one's a very small gap here to that 50 where we've had this rejection. And I tell you guys all the time, anytime that we get a rejection on the 50% line from underneath, that typically means more downside is coming. And that's about what we have here. You can see we did get a downtrend here back here on Monday. It came up to close to that same level and came down again. We do have a little trend line coming in about right there and then this top. So it's almost like a wedge coming in. Let's see if there's anything showing up on the daily here. Let's see if we got any type of pattern. Does not look like it. No, we had one there that's already played out. It did it. It said, hey, here's the breakout. Right there's the dot for the breakout. There was the smart target. We went up and hit that and then came back down. So that one's already completed. I'm going to have to say, guys, that this is probably going to be heading back down to the 382 here. This is going to be coming in at about $10. It's a nice psychological number on Clean Spark, and it's a downside move. Does look like we have money flow that's starting to come up here, but at the same time, while money is coming up here and the True 7 is coming up here, we are getting a downtrend on the oscillator ribbon, and it looks like the volume matrix is starting to come down also. Watch for us to pull back to about that $10 range, maybe $10.25. OC, let's kick it over to you. Let's take a look at aluminum for username, and then let's get out of here and let's have a chat.
Absolutely. So username, basically you were looking at this trickle down, and I think you're spot on what you're looking at. So this is a significant candle right now because we haven't made that pullback just yet. I think that we need to wait maybe for a close up there. We do have a very significant movement in here, which, I mean, let me see if I can get a curve. Where is it? Well, let's just play with this one that we have, right? I'm gonna manually draw this. We have this beautiful curve already that we could be looking at. And what I'll be looking at this point is a breakout of this area. We need to compare this what is happening with the rest of the market, because at this point, look at the compression that we have all the way at the top. This could be very, very worrying, because remember, when we have a compression and we're at the top, usually a compression means that we're building up pressure and we're going to be aggressively breaking that compression. We don't know where to the upside, to the downside. But since everything is up here, we have much more room to move to the downside. So we have a little bit of a heads up in there, right? So how far can we go? I would say look at the dynamic reactor in here. Let's go to copper, and I do have 2 lines of copper just to back aluminum up really quick. Because we could be having a little bit of a difference here. Just remember that one, if it is from India, the other one, it is a classical copper. Let's just wait for a little bit to close. There we go. We have a strong signal, and we are above the dynamic reactor. Remember that classical materials change from exchange to exchange based on the country. If we take a look at classical copper, we did not broke to the dynamic reactor. Let's just wait it for a second, and we are rejecting out of it, right? But we haven't yet broken the trend line here. So is it to worry? I would say not at this point. We need to keep an eye on what's happening both on the 3: copper, aluminum, and gold. On gold, we're at the top of the range. I mean, we have been nailing this over and over with this formation that we looked at before, right? But what I would say is just maybe look at gold to see for that valuation grabbing that we could be seeing, and then maybe waiting for that to hit the dynamic reactor to then start looking at aluminum for a next movement. And I will be saying somewhere around 220 for the pullback, and still be on a classical pullback for a continuation of a bull trend. I don't think that is urgent at this point, but we could be having a big movement to the downside. Also, if you're in futures, this could be a good idea to start preparing your positions there. Just saying, not financial advice. Other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, we're running out of time here. We're about 10 minutes past the bottom of the hour. If we didn't get to your TA, I apologize, but I will be in the Discord this afternoon doing a TA session over there with our Magna and Suma, and then plus, Joe's always out there. He's got. What time is your show today, Joe?
3 o'clock every single day, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There you go. So Joe's going to be live at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, his link is down below for his YouTube and his Telegram, because he don't use X that much. So go down there and check out his Telegram, guys, and check out his YouTube. He'll be live today, and he'll get to that stuff. Also, in our Discord, we have our Magna and Suma cum laude TA that we're going to be doing in our Discord today too. So guys, thanks for joining us here today. Joe, thank you so much. Do you have anything for the people on your way out to give them some wisdom, some Joe wisdom?
Yeah, I always want to say, always have a plan A, plan B. Very important. And stop losses will save your butt. If you're not in the Discord, I don't like Discord, but the only reason I have Discord, mainly for Piper, the Academy is crazy. So if you're not a member, definitely, it's way undervalued, like big time. And that's all I got, pretty much. Just thank you guys for everything.
And we appreciate the trades that you drop in there too on our Discord, man. We should just make a section for you in our Discord for your home in there. That way, if people go, do you have a Discord? You can go, I have a home, I rent it out, it's at the Academy.
Right.
There you go. So OC, what do these people get today if they hit that like button on the way out? Let's give them a little outro.
Absolutely. I think you got something special for the members that might want to jump into Chart Prime. Should I disclose that, or should we jump into the next one?
We'll wait for the next one on that one.
Oh, so perfect. All right. So guys, thank you so much for joining. Just also bring up that little pump, so don't miss the next one, because Piper might have you as a surprise there. Other than that, thank you so much for joining here. A quick reminder to click that like button, because if you do, you see that little bit of milk that you have in your fridge might still good if you click that like button. If not, maybe go sour. Who knows? Don't give it a try. Go give it a try. Don't believe me, and see if that happens, if that works. So other than that, see you guys in the next one.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us here today on the Morning Market Report here on Piper Academy. Don't forget to check out all the links down below for any of the products that we have here on the show, any of our indicators, and all of the links for Joe. His Telegram also just now dropped in there by Alexander G. We will be back here tomorrow morning doing the same thing. We're going to be breaking this down for you. Hot news tomorrow morning. Jackson Hole and Jerome Powell. So join us here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. Until then, as always, you guys trade safe and also use a stop loss. Later, guys.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, former Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. Sound off to get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?